She was riding with the dog on the wheelchair. And so, damn, big, fat bummer. She was riding with the dog on the wheelchair, and it was so cute. I missed it. Today we're at Pike Place Market. I'm shooting my M3, and once again we got some Fujifilm 200 in here. Just gonna be shooting some street today. It's a beautiful day out. Shooting in a very underground, unknown part of Seattle here. Let's see what we can get. So funny enough, for 3 years I actually worked right down the street, and so on my lunch break and right after work I would leave the office and I would start getting into street photography. Shooting at the market is not my favorite thing to do anymore just because it's so touristy and I just feel like it's been done. It is very near and dear to my heart, and it's a great way to get a good mix of people. You know, tourist photography it's sometimes okay, but it is a good way to get just like a nice mix of people. A lot of people in their like vacation outfits too. I don't know, it's really funny. What's funny about Seattle street photography as well is that, you know, most of the time, especially during like the gray season, it's just hard to find people on the streets. Like people aren't really out doing much, and so in the market, it's very consistent, and especially during the summer, it's just a madhouse out here. Just kidding, the vibes here are terrible. Let's leave. I actually just got the scans back of some photos I took of that guy, and I'm obsessed. This one. I love it. That photo I just got, trash. Throw it away immediately. I don't know, it's like, I feel like Seattle's great for like my style of street photography where it like isolates things, but also like, I just wish more was happening, you know? Maybe that's just, grass is always greener or whatever. But like, you know, wintertime comes around and it's just people in Patagonia vests. It's just only so much interesting stuff you could get with that, you know? So taking photos downtown today did not end up working out. Just didn't really feel that called to anything. A lot of stuff going on, but also like not a lot of energy and not a lot of interesting stuff, at least nothing that I found particularly interesting. Maybe I'm just burnt out on the market. That's very possible at this point. I found that photography, especially street photography, is such a subliminal art form. I find that a lot of the time I don't even know that I'm like prone to specific subjects until I see the rolls back and I see a lot of the through lines of what I've shot. I find it really beautiful, honestly, the way that, you know, this medium allows you to kind of project yourself onto random people and like see into other people's worlds in a way that lets you kind of get a glimpse of yourself as well. Like it really does feel like no matter where you are at least subconsciously seeking these things out in some way. Like for me, I very recently discovered that I'm very sensitive to photographing older people. I don't know what it is, but like over a certain amount of time, I started looking back and it's most of the people that I photograph on the street. I do actually end up talking to a lot of them a lot of the time. And I think that may be part of it as well, is like getting a better glimpse into the lives of these people. And just like, it allows you to imagine a lot more things, like the things that people have seen, the experiences that they've had. I never met most of my grandparents. The one that actually is the reason why I got into film photography in the first place, the first 35mm camera I ever got was his, and it was passed down through everybody in my family. And I really got into street photography because of that camera. It was a Minolta SR7. In photographing these people, it does kind of allow me to imagine a world where they're still around, in seeing these aspects of people that, you know, whether true or not, I never met them, it's what I imagine them to be like. There's a lot of oddly enough, like healing that you can get in doing this and like spending this amount of time out in the world and like observing these things. Kind of tying this back to what the goal was for today. I mean, I did want it to be like this fun, just photo walk video, being in some touristy, high energy part of Seattle, but I mean, it did kind of reveal to me that like a lot of street photography is about the energy and not necessarily like a lot going on, a lot of activity, but more so like the energy that I'm able to like feel, if that makes sense. Other things that I found I'm very sensitive to photographing is religion. Don't feel the need to get super into that. I'm also very sensitive to taking photos of people while they're eating. I don't know why. That one's really funny. I've gotten some really funny photos. If street photography is something that you're into or it's something that you're wanting to get into, I would very much implore you to be like hyper aware of these things. It's obviously hard enough to know in the moment, but over time, I feel like it reveals a lot about yourself and it allows your camera to be more of like an extension of you. As corny as this may sound, like a gateway into your soul. Oh. You can allow your camera to be like a window into your subconscious, which I find really interesting. It can be however deep you want it to be. Maybe you'll learn nothing about yourself through doing street photography and it will be purely observant. That is totally fine, that is your prerogative. I found it to be just like a generally cathartic experience allowing it to be like that. As somebody that is not amazing at accepting certain hard emotions or feelings, it has allowed me the space to do that in more of a exploratory manner, I suppose. And when I say that like street photography has done a lot for me, that's kind of what I mean. It's not so much about the pictures, it's more about what the pictures do. So, it's worth a shot.